Welcome back, Easy Be Tactical. It's been 3 months, I believe, since I posted. Yeah, life has been pretty rough. Work's been busy. It was the summertime, so I decided not to make this a priority because this is mostly for fun. But anyway, I'm back, and just without any further ado, happy Labor Day for everyone. I'm gonna talk about the PTR PDW, which is one rifle that gave me a lot of headache when I first got it, but it's time for me to give an overview and update on what was going on with it and where it's at today. If you're new to the channel, like it, subscribe. If you're not new, post a comment. I appreciate. I'm back making some videos a couple of weeks, every other couple of weeks or every other week, depending on how life goes. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. All right, let's go ahead and get going. I did have a lot of comments about this rifle and I've responded to most of them online. But before I proceed, I want to apologize. I'm outside. The audio may not be ideal. I'm still always trying to find the best setup. So if you hear background noise or if the audio is not great, my apologies. I will try to do this on editing. But let's talk about this in terms of the last comments that I've seen repetitively and the ones that I've seen the most frequently posted. So the biggest issue with the PTR 91 PDW, and let me take a step back. This is a PTR 91 PDW personal defense weapon from PTR, as you know the brand if you're watching this video. It's a clone of an HK3 HK91, so it's a short barrel rifle. Not by any definition, it's a short rifle that has 8.5-inch barrel, but chambers a 308 cartridge. Typically, before this was registered in SBR, it came with a cap in the back, so it's essentially a battle pistol instead of a battle rifle. Battle build because of the large caliber, and there was a cap here, but I since then installed this collapsible coat tool stock registered as a short barrel rifle to make this a functional, easier to shoot for me rifle. So the biggest issue I had with this one was reliability. When I first bought it, it would lock up forward all the time while I was shooting it. And I posted on about it. I went to the range several times. I contacted PTR. They wouldn't help me because this particular version is one of the first set of production before the company PTR changed ownership. So they wouldn't address the repair. There was basically no warranty or no service to the firearm. I don't know why, but they would not even let me send it and charge me for a repair. So they mentioned that it was before the current ownership, so it basically this was not covered. So I said, okay, fine. I moved on with my life and I decided to investigate and see if I could make it better myself. So why did I take this out? Because my problem was the bolt. It would lock up and I couldn't do anything with it. I couldn't fire it just like right now it locks because I press by hand. But I would be shooting 1, 2, 3 rounds and it will lock up completely in the forward position, and I'll have to take the rifle literally apart at the range in order to continue shooting. The reason I took it off because someone mentioned if the bolt has a 70 on it, it's the right bolt. Now that I've locked it, I must say I don't remember seeing a 70. I don't think I've checked it, but that's one of the comments from one of the viewers. Troubleshooting initially. So what I ended up doing was polishing this. That's also one of the comments I'm asked. What did you use? What kind of grit did you use to polish with? To be honest, it was not a real true polishing job. I want to say maybe 800 grit, but I simply rub gently around the bolt carrier and the bolt itself. I am not a gunsmith, so please take what I say with a grain of salt. I am not a gunsmith. I'm more of a troubleshooter, and because I didn't want to, because I was stuck with the gun. Well, I wasn't stuck, because I wanted it to function after spending all the money and the headache to get it from an auction. I wanted to function properly. I was willing to try things that may have impacted the reliability, which right now it didn't. That's why I started with a very light grit, but I believe it was about 800 grit. Simply sanded. I just literally took the light sheet of sandpaper and then gently rub it for a few times. At the end of the day, I think the gun just needed a break-in period, because after maybe after 150 rounds, 160 rounds, it starts shooting better. And after I sanded that and completely lubricated a few times, I have not had any issues. It doesn't lock anymore when I'm firing it. So now that it's locked, the rollers are locked. I'll have to release it before I can put it back on the gun. So typically I don't pull that by hand like that, but let me do that before I continue chit-chatting about the rifle. So my issue was that after a few rounds, it will lock up, and I will have to disassemble it to be able to continue firing. But now it's working just fine. So reliability, very good. Initially, very bad. Another comment I received a lot was regarding the difference between a PTR 91 and a PTR 105. Although this is a PTR 91 engraved with this Ola logo, the PTR 91 typically is your longer barrel. It's your 18-inch barrel from a real, the HKG3, the longer rifle. And the PTR 105 is the pistol version, which has an 8.5-inch barrel typically. So that's, according to me, that's the best way I can simplify the difference between the 105 and the 91. If I'm wrong, someone puts in the comments. Magazine. Someone posts, where do I find 20 rounds magazine? I've only seen most of the 20 round magazine. I'm sure there may be other capacity out there, but they're easy to find. Just Google it. Mostly like Apex Gun Parks, Robert, RTG, any kind of mill surplus or decent website will have these magazines, which are 20 round. These are original HKG3 magazines, and I have a variety of them, different tint, different colors depending on the year and the mark, the make and model, and where you find them. So same magazine I use on the same magazine that I use on a PTR 91, an actual PTR 91. So same mags. Other big comment was that I received is about top rail. So this one, I don't think you had to weld the top rail. I added this top rail. This specific one did not have a top rail on top, but I added this one there for an optics, which I don't always run because I like to keep them classic looking sometimes. The stock that I added is a coat tool, folding stock. So you just pop it up and fold it. Coat, C-H-O-A-T-E tool, coat tool. They make a lot of accessory parts for this kind of classic milsurp rifle. So I found that very appropriate for the pistol. One of the challenge I had was when I bought this pistol, I bought it from a farm online auction, and I was very disappointed. This was actually one of my most disappointing purchases originally, because it was a pistol. The picture that I had, the picture from the auction, was showing the pistol with a cap, but the cap was not mounted on the pistol. Long story short, I never saw the pistol always put together. The cap was separate, and that's because they were cheating. This was an unsold stock from a shop that was going out of business. So what they did is, I guess at some point they lost the proper cap. They just had another PTR cap, but it was not for this pistol. So when I bought it, they shipped it to me in a janky box, all that stuff. But the cap never fit the pistol. So for about a month and a half, I could not shoot this thing. Until I found two things. I had to register it, and then I had to find the proper end, because I wanted it to be either a pistol or a rifle. But the particularity, at least I didn't know this at the time, because I had a PTR 91 already, but I did not have a PDW, and I wanted to collect this type. I did not know that your buffer spring or recoil spring is mounted on the cap or the stock or whatever stock brace configuration that you have on the PTR PDW. This recoil spring is mounted to this part. So it took me a moment to find a stock folding with the proper length recoil spring. So that was my troubleshooting. Yeah, this purchase, I was very disappointed because the ads was not matching what I received initially. There were more fees than initially expected, and the communication was bad. It took forever to ship. It was just a mess. And I've bid on auctions before online for cars and things like that, but I never did it for that auction site and for a rifle like this. I was a little bit disappointed about the process, which I guess by the time the rifle came, I was excited. And when I saw I couldn't shoot it because the cap didn't match, I was even more disappointed. This was one of the first one I had severe buyer remorse. But then I had two choices. I couldn't return it because farm sale was final. I could have just gotten mad and all that. But I was determined to make it work for me and make it reliable, and it now is. So whatever you end up if it's not exactly what you want at the beginning, but you still have a chance to keep it, walk through the problem, troubleshoot, and stick to it. If not, then find a way to sell it to a gun store or someone else by disclosing exactly what they're buying. But I wanted to keep this, so I had to walk through the problems. I think those are all the main comments I have received over the months that I had not answered yet. I have answered all the other comments. If you want to check those information, check out the videos. Mostly it was about reliability, about where I found the stock, about how many rounds, about whether I like it, or people telling me their experience with the PTR PDW. It's a good gun. I like it now. Of course, now I can run it suppressed. I think suppressed is still shorter than the the 91, yeah, because suppress is still, even suppress is still shorter than the PTR 10, PTR 91, the long barrel. This is an 18-inch barrel, if I recall. Yeah, 18-inch, 17.7. This one is a good one too. 308. Good guns. I like those classic HK. I wish I had an original HKG3 maybe one day, but for the money I'm good. I don't shoot them all the time, but I like battle rifles, so it's fine if this one sits, if I don't have the original one yet. Hope the video was helpful. Post a comment, subscribe if you are not a subscriber, share the video. Till then, next time, take it easy, stay safe.